I'm sure you all are wondering, why is everyone gathered outside with a placard and trying to protest? There was a young black boy, 16-year-old black boy, that was shot by white collar man, right? Just because he went to knock on the man's door and he shot him twice. This story is a very sad story. I feel somehow making this video, but I just have to put it out there because this kind of injustice is just too much. There is the innocent young 16-year-old Raphael in the hospital fighting for his life. We are lucky he's alive. He's not dead. We should thank God for that. I'm going to post a video of his hands actually explaining this whole situation, what really happened and all of that, so that you all will understand deep details what is going on in this situation.
Last night, my nephew was on his way to pick up his brothers from their friend's house a few blocks away from his house. He didn't have his phone, so he wasn't using GPS. He was just going based on the direction that my sister gave him. Unfortunately, he pulled into the driveway of the wrong house, walked up to the door, rang the doorbell. A man opened up the door, looked him in the eye, and said, "Don't ever come back here," as he shot him in the head. My nephew fell down and the man shot him again. He was able to get up and ran to the neighbor, who did not open the door. He ran to 3 houses before one of the neighbors said, "Put your hands up and lay on the ground." And then he laid on the ground like he passed out before the neighbor called the police for help. My nephew is 16 years old. You hear these stories about racism in America and you think, wow, how sad is that? But then you have this little bit of hope because you feel like it's so far away and it would never happen to your family. It would never happen to you. But God, the people in this country are sick. And it's so hard to believe that this amount of hate lives in people. And they hate people based on things that are not even under their control. I cannot believe this is the country that we live in. This is the country. This is America.
I don't think anyone who listen to this and not feel somehow, not feel bad and not feel sorry, because this is just so unfair. 16-year-old, and the man is over 80 years old. You felt threatened by a 16-year-old boy. I don't know, how is that a threat? I'm sure it's just because of his skin color. Of course, we already know that. The neighbors were even worse. They didn't open the door for him. I can imagine the pain this young boy is going through. I can just imagine. Then the one that finally decides to open the door was like, put your hand down, lie down, and all of that. Like, why? Just because of his skin color. And oh God, there's nothing, like, you all just know that the man is just at home resting and chilling. He's not being arrested, or he was arrested. Nothing is done. But this guy is fighting for his life in the hospital. A lot of people have some things to say, which I'm going to put in some stitches for you all to watch. And also, let me know what you think about the situation down in the comment section.
I cannot believe this is the country that we live in.
Here we go again, joining this young woman in her grief over the fact that her nephew was shot and left for dead because he went to the wrong house to pick up his siblings. I'm talking about 16-year-old Ralph Yarl of Kansas City. He is currently in the hospital fighting for his life after going to the wrong house to pick up his siblings. When he knocked on the door, the homeowner reportedly came to the door with a gun and shot him through the glass. And then reportedly, after the teen was lying on the ground, the homeowner shot him again in the head. Now, his aunt says that miraculously, he tried to seek help from other neighbors, but no one would help him until one neighbor said they would, provided that he lie on the ground with his hands up. So here we are, a 16-year-old young black man in the hospital fighting for his life, while the white homeowner, who has not been identified and was questioned but has been released, seems to, for whatever reason, think it was okay. I'm not exactly sure what his defense is, but that's not even the point. These are the vocabulary words I have for that incident. Atrocious. Atrocious is wickedly evil and heinous. Heinous is hatefully evil. They're basically the same. Wicked, hateful, atrocious, heinous. So yes, this has become the country we live in. And I'm not going to make a political commentary or a statement about this, but just add atrocious and heinous to your vocabulary bank and make it your time, your shine. Auntie Bev speaks.
Last night, my nephew was on his way.
I have no words. I don't even know what to say here. Who does this? Who just shoots someone for ringing the wrong doorbell, for getting the wrong house? And the sadder part is, none of the neighbors was helping. When he was trying to get help from someone, no one was trying to help him. Who does that? And I know this is not my normal content, but this is just really sad. You have to listen to her entire video. I have not seen anything in the news just yet. I've just seen her video, but this is just so shocking and so sad.
This is Ralph Yarl. Ralph is a 16-year-old boy from Kansas City, Missouri. Ralph was going to go pick up his two younger brothers when he mistakenly went to the wrong address. Upon knocking on the door, without saying a word, the homeowner shot him once through the window, opened his front door, and shot him again in the head to ensure that Ralph was no longer alive. By nothing short of a miracle, Ralph managed to survive the attempted unaliving. Ralph was not busting in this man's window. Ralph was not breaking down this man's door. He knocked as any visitor would. And those of us with any sort of sense, right, know why Ralph was not seen as a house guest first. Ralph was not seen as a boy first. Ralph was not seen as a human being first, but a threat. We know exactly why. Your fear and hatred of blackness is not an excuse to harm us. Your fear and hatred of blackness is not an excuse for you to take our lives. Kansas City Chief of Police Stacey Graves had the following to say: in order to arrest someone, law enforcement needs a formal victim statement, forensic evidence, and other information for a case file to be completed. Because of the teen's injuries, Graves said police haven't been able to get a victim statement yet. Are you fucking kidding me? No charges because there is no victim. What would have happened had Ralph lost his life, as the shooter very much so intended? What would have happened then? KCPD held that man for 24 hours and let him go. There have been no charges brought against him as of yet. Please do not let the prosecutor, Zachary Thompson, sleep until the perpetrator is brought to justice. Please do not let Kansas City Police Department sleep until the perpetrator is brought to justice. Kansas City, who are you protecting? Who are you serving? There's no running from this. There's no sweeping it under the rug, and all eyes are on you. What are you going to do?
Let's play a quick game of what if. What if a black man bang-banged a white child standing on his front porch? What do you think would happen to that black man? Two possible outcomes. Straight to prison, no questions asked, or the black man also gets bang-banged. But what happens when a white man bang-bangs a black child? Absolutely nothing. If you're not angry about that, go ahead and unfollow me now. Because one day, that could be my child, fighting for his life simply because he knocked on a white man's door.
Now, the following has been posted for educational purposes with the intent to spread awareness and should not be used to segregate or divide, nor as a tool for harassment or bullying. Now, I had to get outside today because this case right here just got me feeling some type of way. And here's why. This right here is 16-year-old Ralph Yarl of Kansas City, Missouri, who on April 13th was going to pick up his siblings. Now, Ralph didn't have his phone and therefore he wasn't able to use GPS, but he ended up going to the wrong house, and that's when this happened.
Unfortunately, he pulled into the driveway of the wrong house, walked up to the door, rang the doorbell. A man opened up the door, looked him in the eye, and said, "Don't ever come back here," as he shot him in the head. My nephew fell down, and the man shot him again.
Now, that's when Ralph somehow found the energy and strength to go to not one, not two, but 3 houses before someone was willing enough to help him. And I want to be clear what that help looked like, because it wasn't just a open the door, oh my gosh, what happened, let me help you. This is what it looked like.
He ran to 3 houses before one of the neighbors said, "Put your hands up and lay on the ground." And then he laid on the ground like he passed out before the neighbor called the police for help.
Now, luckily, Ralph has been released from the hospital as of Sunday, I believe, and is at home recovering. But what about the 84-year-old white man who shot him in the head and arm? Now, the KC police was said to have taken the suspect into custody for a statement and was said to also have placed him on a 24 hold. However, would y'all believe me that they released this man in less than 2 hours and are said to be investigating whether or not this suspect was protected by the stand your ground laws? Now, here's some of the questions that I have. If he felt so threatened, why did he even open the door? If a black man had been the one to pull this trigger, he'd be in jail or another hashtag. Why is this case being pushed behind the narrative of mistaken identity and the 16-year-old child, the victim, name plastered everywhere, but yet the suspect, his name is still unknown? Oh, I know why.
We all take care of one another, you know.
Well, this is how we can help take care of Ralph.
The only help that I need and that my family needs right now is to get attention on this situation.
Remember, it's impossible being armed when the weapon you fear is my skin.
We're going to end this video here, and thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. My name is Maria Davids, and let me know what you think about this video down in the comment section. I'd love to know, I'd love to hear from you. I also have conversations with you down in the comment section. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video if you find it helpful, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.